Hello and welcome to Euro Football Daily, where today we're looking at 10 key players from Europe's top teams who need to be replaced. Let's kick it off. Number 10, Sergio Busquets. As sad as it might be, Sergio Busquets' days as the best defensive midfielder in the world are numbered. Since making his debut for Barcelona in 2008, the Spaniard has won 7 out of 10 league titles he's competed for, as well as picking up 3 Champions Leagues, a World Cup, the Euros, and 18 other trophies. However, Busquets is now 30 and his legs can't last forever. In 2017-18, the one-club man had another spectacular season, winning the ball over 5 times a game and passing it into the final third around 8 times, a strong attacking contribution for a deep midfielder. But his role was physically demanding. Busquets pressed an opponent nearly 25 times a game as Barcelona lost just a single league match all year. To put that in context, N'Golo Kante pressed an opponent around 22 times per match, while forwards on high-pressing sides like Christian Eriksen and Roberto Firmino were also inferior. The combination of his age and the requirements of his position means that Busquets is likely to need more help going forward, and Barcelona will need a new DM in the long term. If only they'd snapped up Rodri before he joined Atletico Madrid. Number 9, Karim Benzema. 2017-18 was a mixed year for Karim Benzema. The Frenchman lifted his 4th Champions League but had to watch his countrymen win the World Cup without him, and he only bagged 5 league goals for Real Madrid. However, the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo has placed Benzema at the heart of Real's attack, and after 3 games of the 18-19 season, he was just 1 goal shy of his tally for the whole of the previous year. So why does he need to be replaced? Real have generally done a good job of deepening their squad over the last few years, with the likes of Kovacic, Odriozola and Ceballos giving them plenty of top-class backups. But in the forward areas, things still look a little bit thin. Gareth Bale is brilliant but is 29 and always injured, while Benzema will turn 31 during Real's winter break and is clearly in decline. 3 years ago, he made 1.6 chances a game and took 4.5 shots, elite numbers which have since dropped every season, now resting at 1.3 key passes a match and only 2.7 shots. As good as Marco Asensio is, the youngster doesn't look likely to turn into a goal-scoring monster like Ronaldo, and that leaves Real searching for their next great number 9. If they don't find him soon, Atletico are sure to be breathing over their shoulders. Number 8. David Luiz. For all his critics, David Luiz is an excellent defender. The Brazilian has won 3 titles in the last 4 years and has been a regular under defensive coaches like Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte. In fact, Luiz has not played in a team which has conceded more than a goal a game in the league since 2012-13, the season after he won the Champions League. But while Luiz is acknowledged as an excellent passer from the back, averaging around 5 accurate long balls a game over the last 2 years, he's not as suited to the back 4 favoured by Sarri as he was to Antonio Conte's back 3. Without the protection of 2 other centre-backs, Luiz's lack of defensive contribution, with just 1 tackle or interception per 90, becomes a liability. And his distribution is less necessary too, with Jorginho pulling the strings in midfield. Now 31, Luiz should probably be phased out of the team, and the Blues don't even need a new signing, as they already have Andreas Christensen, who has shown himself to be strong on the ball too, and played in both back 4s and back 3s during his spell with Borussia Mönchengladbach. Number 7. Moussa Dembele. When you have a brilliant midfielder solving all your midfield problems, it's tempting to rely on them heavily. But when you're trying to build a new stadium and establish yourself as one of the Prem's top sides, and that midfielder is 31 years old, you're asking for trouble. That's exactly Tottenham's situation with Moussa Dembele. Once a forward at Fulham, the Belgian has matured into one of the most reliable midfielders in the Prem, who puts up both solid defensive numbers and can push Spurs forward with his dribbling. However, since 2015, he's noticeably slowed down, playing fewer minutes every year, and his tackle and interception numbers have slid from 5.7 a game to 3.5 a game to 2.7 a game. Even with defence-first partners like Dyer and Wanyama, that's a huge drop, and while Harry Winks has the ability to fill some of the gap, he doesn't have the fitness. With Kane 25, Eriksen 26 and Pochettino in his 5th season with the Lily Whites, Daniel Levy needs to get his checkbook out if he wants Spurs' best side in recent history to have silverware in their brand new stadium. Number 6. Robert Lewandowski. Like Real Madrid with Benzema, Bayern Munich are facing life without one of the world's best forwards. Robert Lewandowski has been arguably the best free transfer ever since his switch to the Allianz in 2014, scoring over 40 goals in 3 of his 4 full seasons and so far racking up a tally of 0.79 goals a game. That's better than Thierry Henry, Alan Shearer and every other striker in Premier League history. All 4 of Lewandowski's campaigns at Bayern rank among the club's 20 highest scoring ever, and the Pole has been responsible for around a third of all their league goals since his move. And that would be good except for the lack of a natural heir to the striker in the squad. Thomas Müller has generally given his worst performances for club and country as a number 9, while Gnabry and Coman prefer wide roles and Sandro Wagner, at 30, is a year older than Lever. As a consequence, Bayern seem likely to smash their transfer record, just €42 million on Corentin Tolisso, for a striker in the near future. And with Timo Werner continuing to impress at RB Leipzig, we'd be pretty certain that we know where they'll start looking. If we're right, prepare for another decade of boredom in the Bundesliga. Number 5. Samir Handanovic. An amazing servant for Inter Milan, goalkeeper Handanovic has quietly been one of the most consistent keepers around over the last few seasons. Since he joined Inter in 2012, he has missed just 9 Serie A matches, playing an incredible 219 out of a possible 228, and he's made the division's Team of the Year twice. And 2017-18 was arguably the best campaign of his career. The Slovenian, whose form has kept Jan Oblak to under 20 appearances for the national side, conceded just 30 league goals in his first year under Luciano Spalletti, despite expected goals predicting they should have let in around 37. That 7-goal difference was the second biggest made by a keeper in Serie A, after Alisson's otherworldly 10 at Roma. But now Handanovic is 34, he's reached the age at which Cech, Navas, Casillas and Claudio Bravo all began to drop off. With agility obviously a key element in good goalkeeping, Handanovic can't stave off the decline forever, and Inter might want to start looking around for someone big enough to fill the 6'4" stopper's number 1 shirt. Number 4. Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka committed more fouls last season than any other Arsenal player, and he received 10 yellow cards, the most in the squad. Somehow, despite his constant dirty play, the Swiss still failed to disrupt opposition attacks, with the Gunners conceding a massive 52 league goals. So why replace Xhaka with a similar kind of player? Why not simply drop him and assume that the team will improve in his absence? It turns out that it's not so simple. Regardless of his weaknesses off the ball, Xhaka is excellent at getting Arsenal into the most dangerous areas of the pitch. According to Sky Sports and Opta, since the beginning of the 2017-18 campaign, no Premier League player has completed more passes into the final third than Xhaka. And only De Bruyne, Eriksen, Salah and Hazard have played a part in moves which led to shots more often than the former Mönchengladbach man. That means that despite the promise shown by Guendouzi and the tenacity of Torreira, Arsenal need to find a way to replace the ball progression offered by their erratic midfield general. If they can't find a passer of similar quality, they run the risk of simply turning their defensive problem into an attacking one. Number 3. Chris Smalling. Another season at Old Trafford, and Chris Smalling remains a regular starter for the Red Devils. The defender is now in his 9th season with Man United, and despite big money signings like Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly joining the club, Smalling has made more than 25 league appearances in 4 of the last 5 campaigns. A bad look for the richest side in the world. In fact, at the time of writing, Smalling has made just 9 appearances fewer than Vidic did for United, but with nothing like the same success. In 2017-18, Mourinho's men allowed more shots per game than the rest of the Premier League top 6 and Watford, and expected goals ranked them as the 6th best side in the division, with the 5th best defence. That means that change is needed, and at 28, Smalling is taking up minutes which could be given to a young defender. Despite rumours of interest in Alderweireld, Boateng and Maguire, Mourinho failed to strengthen his back line in the 2018 summer transfer window, and once again Smalling will be a key component in United's defence. Somehow, we don't think they'll finish second this time. Number 2. Edin Dzeko. The arrival of Monchi in Italy should see Roma become one of the world's best destinations for young talent. But though the regeneration has already begun in wide areas and midfield, the attack is still reliant on Edin Dzeko. The Bosnian, who cost the Giallorossi only €15 million in 2015, has since scored a third of Roma's league goals, but will turn 33 this season and can't defy time forever. While Roma boasts plenty of wingers in El Shaarawy, Kluivert, Perotti and Under, the club's only real backup to Dzeko is Patrick Schick, who at the time of writing has played just under 1,000 minutes in over a year with the team. At 22, Schick has plenty of time to improve, but currently he has only 25 career goals to his name. More importantly, he lacks Dzeko's talent as a focal point, creating 1.4 chances to Dzeko's 1.6 last year and taking 2 shots inside the box a game, while the former City man took nearly 4. With Milan and Inter investing heavily, Napoli and Lazio still strong, and Juventus a juggernaut as usual, Roma can't afford to lose ground or to continue to pin their hopes on a pensioner. Number 1, Fernandinho. As bad as an injury to Kevin De Bruyne or Sergio Aguero might be, it's actually Fernandinho who is indispensable to Manchester City. Guardiola went into the summer of 2019 determined to find a long-term heir to his midfield general, but failed moves for Jorginho and Fred put the Catalan off the market altogether, and the season began with no reinforcements. That's a problem because City relied heavily on the Brazilian last year, and he's already old at 33. In 2017-18, at the clubs which finished in the Premier League top 4, only 4 players were older: Llorente, Carrick, Ibrahimovic and Yaya Toure. Between them, those 4 played just 667 minutes to Fernandinho's 2,900, and 3 of them moved on at the end of the season. Vital on the defensive side of the ball, with nearly 5 tackles and interceptions a game to Ilkay Gundogan's 3, Fernandinho is surprisingly influential in possession too. According to StatsBomb, he led the league in deep progressions last year. That's the number of times he passed or dribbled the ball into the final third, coming out ahead of De Bruyne, Ozil and all of the division's elite attackers. Age is sure to take Fernandinho's fitness or form or both, and the sooner City start making plans for life without him, the better. They just have to hope that they don't lose out on a title in the meantime. So that's all we've got time for, but which players do you think should be replaced around Europe's top clubs? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, stay right here on Eurofootball Daily and check out Friday's Continental Club, and as always, make sure that you like and subscribe.